Hi, Oleg here. I just received my Luxembourgish test results and I wanted to share my experience on how to learn a language from 0 to 100 mark in less than 1 year and a half. Luxembourgish is a very rare language, so it's spoken only by about 400,000 people on this earth. And this is my sixth language. Um, it's not that I'm good at learning languages, but I think everyone has the potential to learn a language pretty fast. So I want to share my experience on the techniques I followed to learn this language. So first, most useful technique I used, the one that I've learned in a book called Breaking the Habits of Being Yourself, written by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And the technique is quite simple. So basically, you need to have a very clear, focused intention and an elevated emotion associated to your intention. So what I did was that I've put clearly my focus and intention to pass the exam for Luxembourgish test this year with a great mark. Yeah, and I really wanted to learn it. The second point on the elevated emotion I associated to this is the why I wanted to learn the language. I had two main reasons. So one is to know the language of the country I live in. That gives you access to the culture, to a lot more than just being an expat or being a foreigner. Second is to learn the language of my kids, who they're learning that language in school, and kids around them speaking Luxembourgish, and also neighbors and friends do speak it, and I really wanted to understand it and speak it as well. And the third emotion around learning this language for me was the mysterious point of this language being a rare language and very different from the other 5 languages that I speak already. So that's the how you turn the potential into a reality. And the second key thing here is that I did, and the technique I used was to visualize. So there is by now it's a quite widely used technique on many things when you want to turn potential into reality, is to visualize yourself as if you already are there. So during my mindfulness times, once a day or so, I visualized myself at the exam passing that test with 100. And guess what? I did pass the test, the spoken part, with 100 mark out of 100. So for me, that's a bit of a positive shock as well. So I think visualizing the potential you want to get into can be very surprising, positively surprising. All right, so the next thing I did, of course, I've put the time to learn it. And it wasn't too much time. So first year, once a week, I had Luxembourgish lessons, 1 hour or one and a half hours, and I had to stick to that time. So I put it in my calendar. You put it there. It's for learning the language, and you don't cancel it. It determines how focused you are on that. Then the last part of the 1.5 years, so the last 6 months or so, I increased the intensity. So I had one lesson a week and plus 30 minutes a day just to learn the words. Whatever happens, it's a must do every day, 30 minutes, learn the words. And then I've got lucky to have one of my neighbors, Guy Grosber, which I'm very thankful to. He volunteered to have a chat with me, a weekly chat, an hour chat, to try to exercise my speaking practice, and that was immensely helpful. Right. So then I'm thinking how I can use this experience to help my kids learn any language they want. So I think probably the first three things that I mentioned are adaptable to kids' environment, any age. So if you want to put any focused intention in your kid's mind, it's really to help them be determined on one particular key thing they want to achieve, and describe it, talk about it, put it on write it on a thing somewhere visible, and help them put the time in for that. And then secondly, kids are a lot better, I think, at having elevated emotions. And secondly, help them understand why they want to learn it. So in my example with Natalie, her mother tongue is Romanian, and she has to, and the environment at school is Luxembourgish. So one thing that we focused around was she's very talkative, and helping her understand that she will be able to learn the language as soon as she wants to learn it, but why she wants to learn it was very important. So we discussed about the reasons why, and she concluded for herself that she faster wants to understand and talk to the kids around herself, and that was her key why. And it was very elevated emotion because sometimes she came home and was angry or was sad because she couldn't communicate with the kids around. So that emotion, reminding her of that emotion of why she wants and she needs to learn the language, is key. And now she talks the language, and I'm reminding her that, look, you had your intention clear, you had the reasons why you want to learn it, and you see, you can celebrate it now. You freely speak to those kids, and you love to speak, and she feels excited about that. All right, so now I want to definitely extend my thanks to many people that were involved in this little project of my personal development. And first and foremost, my teacher, Michelle Gorge, who is a Luxembourgish teacher, but she's not a simple teacher. She has a particular sets of skills, and I think her technique is amazing. She made it fun and effective. She's also guess what, a purpose coach. So I definitely believe that her background helped into figuring out what works best for the students. So Michelle, thank you. Another thank you goes to my neighbor who is just there, who voluntarily just proposed me to, hey, you want to practice with me? I can free myself up for an hour per week. So I was putting that in the calendars, and he was lovely. So Guy Grosberg, thank you very much. Thumbs up. Thank you for helping. And it was fun conversations. So anyone who is listening to this, I would just suggest, there are a lot of good people around, and they have various reasons why they want to help. Just go out and talk about this and ask for help. And usually most of the people are good people, and they have good reasons behind helping. So they will naturally do that. So Guy, thank you. And of course, I want to thank my company, Vodafone, who has provided those lessons for the employees, and that help a lot of people develop themselves in something that they really want. So thank you, Vodafone. If you want to learn more experiences on some particular topics, especially on what things can help kids, we share a video every single week with the aim to help busy parents to become better version of themselves. So feel free to subscribe to the channel and comment whatever questions you might have, and please share to anyone that you believe this could be useful for. Cheers and have a lovely day.